we learned that metabolic health is not just about blood sugar, right? It's also about what? Blood pressure, cholesterol, your weight, and also how efficiently your body uses energy. Well, today we're going to be answering that question that people ask all the time. I hear this question over and over again. If I'm trying to eat better, why is my blood sugar so high? Right? By the end of the class, I want you to understand why this happens in a way that's easy to remember. It's not a blame game. Insulin resistance is very common. It develops gradually, but the good news is that we can improve it. And today is about understanding what's happening inside your body, so you can make your small changes that actually work. Before we get started, let me ask, raise your hand if you've ever wondered, I'm trying so hard, but why is my blood sugar so high?
All I had was salad for lunch yesterday and went up to 300.
So, well, you're definitely not alone in this.
And it wasn't
Okay?
salad dressing, because it was a Greek salad dressing, which was yogurt.
Yeah. So but you're not alone. And today I think that after this question is going to make a lot more sense for you. Did everyone get some snacks today? Okay, so let's go over what we had for our snacks. Okay, so we have the Mediterranean cucumber and tomato salad. So we have lots of fresh veggies in there for the fiber, vitamins, and hydration. So we have some extra virgin olive oil. That's a really good, healthy, heart-healthy fat. We have some feta cheese in that. That gives them some protein and some calcium and some flavor. There's a little bit of garlic in there, adds a little bit boldness, flavor without extra sodium. And then it was just very colorful inspired. It's a colorful Mediterranean inspired side dish. It's very simple. It goes well with like grilled chicken, grilled fish, or beans. So there's a recipe over there if you guys like that. And then, did you guys try the dessert makeover? Anybody just tried it today?
Yeah.
Yeah? What did you think?
Yeah, good.
Pretty good? So there's no added processed sugars in that. The only sugar we have in that is a little bit of honey. And then we have the peanut butter, which adds a little bit of sweetness itself. But remember, we want to go for natural peanut butter. Make sure there's no added sugars, right? You don't need any extra sugar.
Well, what I've been doing a lot lately, I have pure honey and cinnamon. I put that on a lot of my cereal, like I have regular oats and all that.
That's a good idea. Add your own flavoring.
I add like peanut butter sandwich, you put all that on there.
Yeah, cinnamon too. There's cinnamon in this as well. So these are a great example of a balanced snack. They contain oats for fiber, peanut butter for protein and healthy fats, and chia seeds for extra fiber and omega-3. And just a small amount of honey for sweetness. Now remember, they're still a treat, so they still can raise your blood sugar, but they're much more satisfying than packaged snacks. They'll make you feel fuller longer, okay? So there's recipes over there if you guys like those. I like the energy balls because they're super easy to make. They're no bake, and you just put them in the fridge, and you can just grab them as a little bite, you know, when you're feeling a little craving or something. I love them. So and there's so many different things you can do with them. You can add so many different things.
So if I may ask, how evil is putting peanut butter on celery sticks?
Oh no, that's good.
Okay.
Because it's a healthy fat too.
I
It's a protein
eat that
and a
lot,
healthy fat.
so, right,
That's a wonderful snack.
okay.
I love that. Okay. So today's goal. So by the end, I want you to be able to understand and explain what insulin resistance is to somebody at home without using all those fancy words. Today's class is about understanding what's happening inside your body, okay? We're going to understand what the glucose does. We're going to understand what insulin does. And we're going to understand what insulin resistance means. And then we're going to also choose our action for the week. Did anyone have a good success story about their action goal last week? Anyone add anything new to their schedule? Walking or walking? Very good. Love to hear that. Good. Okay, so glucose is not the enemy, right? Your brain, muscles, and body use glucose for fuel. The issue is when there's too much glucose and it stays in the bloodstream for too long. So like examples, you know, you're eating your carbohydrates, your rice, your pastas, your fruits, your sweets, your sodas. What's gonna happen? It's gonna raise your glucose, right? Glucose rises after your carbohydrates. So it's not bad, it's just the problem is it stays in the bloodstream too long. So insulin, let's meet insulin, right? Insulin is a hormone made by your pancreas. Insulin's not bad either. It's a very important hormone. After we eat, the insulin moves the glucose out of the blood into the cells. That's where it can be used and stored. So think of insulin as a key, or even a doorbell. It knocks on the cell and tells it to open up. Hey, open up, glucose is here. Once the cell responds, opens the door, the glucose can then move into the bloodstream, and it can go into the muscles and the fat and the liver cells, where then it's used and stored for energy. But without insulin doing its job properly, it stays in the bloodstream too long, and that's when the blood sugar starts to rise. So let's keep it simple. The pancreas makes your insulin, the insulin helps open the door. So if insulin's the key, what happens when the key still works but the lock doesn't? That's insulin resistance. So you have the key, the lock's just not working.
Before I went to the hospital, my glucose was 367, and after taking the medication, I think it went down to 150.
That's good. When all things are working well, we have a flow. The food breaks down into glucose. The glucose will then enter the bloodstream. The pancreas will release the insulin. The insulin will signal the cells. The cells will use and store the glucose. In a healthy process, the blood sugar goes up and then it comes back down. When you have insulin resistance, the blood sugar doesn't come back down. So what is insulin resistance? Does anybody have an idea kind of what it is? Not really. It's very, very confusing. So insulin resistance means that your body is still making the insulin, but your cells are just not responding to it as well as they should be. They might have in the beginning, but they've gotten used to it. You know, needing too much insulin to overload it. So high insulin often comes before high glucose, which means that prediabetes can be prevented, and we can still keep it from going into full-blown diabetes if we make healthier changes. So the cells respond slowly or weakly, and that's why the pancreas has to send out more insulin. And then the blood sugar starts to look normal for over years, but slowly you're developing insulin resistance behind the scenes. So imagine it like a rusty lock. The working lock. The key opens the door and the glucose can enter. The cell responds quickly to the insulin, you use the energy, and you feel good. Insulin resistance, you have a rusty lock. You try to turn the key, it's just not working, or it's turning really slowly, pancreas is sending more insulin out, and it's just getting overloaded in your body. Over time, the lock will get rusty, the key is still there. It just has to work harder to open it. So you see it's making everything work harder. Your insulin, your pancreas, everything. Okay. So I want to talk about this. We're going to have a little interactive story. So let's meet Sarah. Sarah has insulin resistance, but she does not know it. She feels pretty normal, just ate a healthy breakfast, she eats a bowl of oatmeal and a banana. Her food is broken down into glucose. The glucose will enter her bloodstream, and the pancreas is going to release the insulin. What do you think is going to happen next? Out of A, B, or C, what do you think happens next? A? Well, what is it?
I think they also because of the banana.
Right, so the cells, she has insulin resistance, so that would be if she was healthy. The cells would just open up and say, come on in, right? But she has insulin resistance, so the cells aren't responding well. So it's gonna be B. So the insulin's gonna stay in that blood, the glucose is gonna stay in the bloodstream longer. So then the pancreas is gonna send out more insulin to help bring it down. But the problem is, it can't enter the cells because the lock is rusty, right?
But normally you should expect A.
If it was a normal, healthy human, healthy person that didn't have insulin resistance, she doesn't know she has it. But this is why this is what's happening to some of you. You know, you may not know you have it, but your sugar's staying high. Yeah. This is why it's happening, because the cells aren't opening when glucose is knocking, you know? They're not opening. So, why it matters before diabetes? Because high insulin, you might not have any symptoms. You can feel perfectly fine. Your labs may change very slowly over time. But think of prediabetes as not a character flaw, but a warning light, like a warning light on your dashboard. It's telling you that something is going wrong, you know, keep an eye out, warning, you're gonna have to get checked out soon. High blood sugar and insulin sensitivity can improve though with consistent habits. And we're gonna talk about that today more, especially doing moving, walking after meals and everything, and also even some weight changes. If you lose a little bit of weight, that definitely helps. So what can raise insulin demand? So these are some habits that will make your pancreas have to work harder over time. So sugary drinks, just unnecessary sugar will just make your glucose spike fast, right? Long time sitting, you don't use your muscles, so as much so the glucose is not needed there, so that's something that can cause insulin resistance. Poor sleep, we know already that can mess with your blood sugar, so we know that's a big thing. Stress, we also know about the hormones that stress can release and cause high blood sugar. And then sometimes it's just genetics and age. Those are risk factors that we just have to accept, you know, and then work on everything else that we can change. So common risk factors, some we can change, some we cannot. If you have a family history of type 2 diabetes, you are more at risk, especially if you have a history of gestational diabetes. If you have a higher waist size, you're told you ever had a fatty liver, high triglycerides, or low HDL in your cholesterol, less physical activity, and then just poor sleeping habits, smoking, or having chronic stress. So yeah, if you smoke, it's very important to quit. It's never too late. We can always help. We have lots of different programs too. So some of the signs may be subtle. Many people have no symptoms at all. Fatigue or afternoon crashes can be a main thing, but many people with insulin resistance can feel completely normal. That's why the labs and risk factors matter. Sugar cravings or hunger soon after eating, these are all signs. But then again, you know, if you think you might have any of these, it's best to talk to your doctor about that. But like I said, the good news is that it can be fixed, it can improve. You can improve your insulin sensitivity. So this does not mean everyone has to lose a huge amount of weight. Even modest changes can help. Every little bit of movement helps insulin work better than before and can definitely help with the sensitivity. So they recommend about 150 minutes per week for modest weight loss and just cardiovascular health. So break that down, you know, see what you guys can do to get as close to that goal as possible, 150 minutes per week.
Well, the doctor gave me a prescription to do Tai Chi at Long Center, you know, and then also, excuse me, silver sneakers too, you know, to work out there.
Very good. Did you try Tai Chi?
I just got the subscription, so I'm gonna find out, and it's free too.
Yeah.
For the script.
We're going to do a little introduction to Tai Chi and a couple other classes in
Okay.
here, so we'll take it outside and I'll show you guys a couple things to do. Yeah. It's about balance though, it's really great for your core, it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the cells can become better listeners. When we start moving, that works quickly to help. And the muscles, the muscles will help clear the glucose from the blood. When we're using them, it helps clear the glucose from the bloodstream. And then even a 5% weight loss can help. So like I said, I always tell you, small changes, doesn't have to be perfection, small changes, I'll take them.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
So we're getting rid of the glucose in the blood, but what if your pancreas is giving you more insulin? You mentioned that earlier.
Right, so that's when the blood sugar stays in the bloodstream too long, your pancreas is like, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you going into the cells?
Got it.
So it tries to give more insulin, saying, maybe I need to give more insulin, but it's not that it needs more insulin, it's just that the lock is rusty, right? It's harder to turn. So, but saying, if you start walking, the movement will help move that out into your muscles because then they're gonna need it and the cells are gonna be like, oh, wait, I need this. We need this glucose, let's open, you know? So that's improving your insulin sensitivity. Okay, so muscle is like a sponge, right? When our muscles are active, they use more glucose and they become more sensitive to insulin. So I have a little demonstration I'm going to show you. An active muscle plus movement equals room for glucose. It uses all the stored fuel that's stored. When you have a full sponge or an inactive muscle, the glucose has fewer places to go, so it kind of just sits around in the bloodstream. all right? So, I have an example here. So here we have a insulin resistance sponge, right? So it's already full, right? How much water do you think this is gonna be able to absorb? Do you think it's gonna be able to absorb much? Yeah, not really, right? Well, now we have, look at that, it's still full. And we have a nice dry sponge, right? This is a normal healthy cell. How much is this gonna absorb? Quite a bit, right? That's what we're looking for. Active muscles ready to absorb that glucose. The water is glucose, okay? And this is your muscle. So when it's healthy and active, it's dry. So it wants to absorb all that glucose, okay? So try to remember that when you're sitting on your couch after dinner. Say, let me get up and move some, right? Okay, so like I said, we're not asking you to become a gym person overnight. Just a short walk after meals is one of the simplest ways that you can improve your blood sugar. Take it easy at first, make sure you're not having any pain or anything. But this is some good recommendations. I see a lot of you taking pictures, I like that. Break up your long sitting time too, you know what I mean? If you sit during the day a lot, move around, go to a different room or something. Any kind of movement is gonna help. Like I said, aim towards 150 minutes per week of moderate activity. If you're just going for a walk, try adding some weights or try moving your arms like this to kind of help get some extra energy, get some extra, movement going. Start really low, if you can't do 10 minutes, start with 5 minutes. If you can't walk outside, it's too hot, walk around your house. Make sure it's nice and safe, you don't have anything you can slip or trip over. But the point is just moving. Even if you have to just walk in place, I'm fine with that, Anytime you're just moving, that's what I want. Okay, so sleep and stress. We talked about this a lot, but we already know that poor sleep can affect our blood sugar a lot. But also, no surprise, it can also make insulin resistance worse. Stress hormones, they rise glucose, so that's going to make it worse. Late night snacking, it often leads to poor sleep. Yep. So we need to do better routines to help support our blood sugar, right? It's not just willpower. We are sleep deprived, stressed, we have hunger, we have cravings, and our glucose can be harder to manage. But if we do stuff like have a consistent bedtime, drinking less caffeine late at night, have a calming routine before going to bed. I think we gave some sleep stuff out, sleep hygiene out last time. How about just turning off electronics at a certain time and just kind of getting into a calming mode. And then, asking for help. If you're stressed, you need help, ask for help. Friends, family, church, wherever. And then breathing exercises. We talked a lot about that too. You can really calm yourself down if you just take some deep breaths, and then that will lower your stress level, and then again, get your hormones back to normal. Prayer, meditation, all those type of things can help with stress. And then sometimes it's just getting out for a walk, going to see the park. We have tons of beautiful parks here, just looking at nature. It could just, and overall, make you feel better. And that overall is going to make your blood sugar better. So food still matters. We're going to talk about that next class. We're going to talk about building a better plate. But today I just want you guys to limit these things. Sugary drinks, they're usually the fastest way for your blood sugar to spike. We want to always make sure, remember my saying, no make it carbs. So always want to have something with your carb, a protein, a fiber, and a fat. So every time you're eating a carb, which we all know what carbs are, anything that has sugar in it, even fruits are carbs. So like you're eating an apple, eat some peanut butter with it, Then you have a healthy fat, and you have some protein, and you fiber from the skin of the apple. So that's going to all, in turn, help slow the digestion of that blood sugar into your bloodstream. So then we already know that highly processed carbs are going to make your blood sugar rise quickly. So those are best to be avoided. Yes?
A couple of sessions ago, I talked about the soft drinks that say there's no sugar, but you can't find the nutrition on the
I looked that up for you, Mike. It was, what was it called?
Well, I drink because it's
Fresh cut or
fresh
something?
cut.
Yeah. I looked that up for you. It's good. It's okay. It doesn't have any added sugar or anything in it.
Right, it says on it soda water, but I'm hooked on that for years.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a carbonation water like kind of thing.
Right.
So
There is flavor to it, but
there's a little bit of flavor to it. I wouldn't make that a drink for every day, but having maybe one a day or two is
Yeah.
okay, but add some more regular water in there too.
Well, thanks for looking that up.
Now I know because my next door neighbor's type 1,
Mm-hmm.
and she comes in with 2 cases of Fresca. And I'm going, what the heck is she doing? Well, I said another word, but,
What was
Yeah.
What was she doing? But apparently you just answered it.
Yep,
BOGO time is better.
yes, ma'am.
I drink vitamin water with stevia in it.
With stevia
Is
in it?
that, it's just stevia?
Yeah, stevia is artificial sweetener, you know, it is gonna raise the blood sugar a little bit, but not as much as the processed sugars. So it's a better option, yeah, definitely.
What you said, Fresco is good for you?
The Fresca, it doesn't have any added sugar in it.
But can you put it in freeze and all that?
It's like it's a carbonated like water, like a sparkling
A
water.
seltzer.
Yeah, like a seltzer water.
God bless it. I thought I shut it off, I'm sorry.
Or just turn the volume all the way down.
Yeah, that's what I
It
thought.
don't
I did.
matter.
Right.
Apparently I didn't do it far enough.
So, what else do you guys drink during the day?
I drink hint water.
Hint?
Yes.
What's that?
It's just regular water, and apparently they have a little flavor in it.
Okay, no sugar though?
No
Very
sugar.
good, okay.
My sister got me back a machine, you put regular water in it, it has a filter and it cleans it out and I drink that.
Beautiful, nice,
Yeah.
I like that.
Zip Biz.
What's that?
It's an energy drink that has no sugar and tons of vitamins in it.
Okay,
What is it?
Zip Biz.
Zip.
okay.
ZIP?
Does anybody here still drink soda?
FIZZ.
No? Good. Bob, what do you typically drink on a normal day?
Water.
Water? That's great. Does anybody like coffee?
Oh, yeah.
Like your
Every
coffee?
morning.
Yeah.
2 cups in the morning.
Yeah.
But I don't drink sugar in it anymore.
Okay.
And I drink just a little creamer and that's it.
Okay. That's not bad, that's not bad. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna play a game here. Okay, so I'm gonna hand out these cards. We have 2 games we're gonna play. True and false and then myth and fact.
Do we get paid if we win?
Only if he opened.
The
Yeah, really.
last time she didn't have anything like that.
I know,
Looks
this
like
time I
you're
wrote
ready
some
to take off like an
on.
astronaut.
So one side says true and false and the other side says myth and fact. Let's start with the myth and fact, okay? Okay. Sugar is the only cause of diabetes. What do you guys think? Myth, very good. Pre-diabetes can be improved with healthy habits. Healthy habits, fact, very good, I like that. Walking after a meal can help lower your blood sugar. Very good, everyone's right. That is a fact. You have to completely avoid carbohydrates if you have diabetes. Yes, very good. Because why? Because we can build a balanced meal. We can make it better, right? Very good. Protein helps you feel full longer.
Protein helps you what?
Feel full longer. Protein helps you feel full longer. It does. It's a fact. Protein does. Doesn't seem to do that for you? Oh. Fiber can help slow the rise of blood sugar after your meal.
Say that again?
Fiber can help slow the rise of blood sugar after the meal. That's true, that's a fact, correct, thank you. Poor sleep can make insulin resistance worse.
What's that?
Poor sleep, bad sleep,
To make it.
insulin resistance worse. True, that's true. If your blood sugar is normal today, you'll never develop diabetes. Very good, we got that one. That's a myth. Even losing a small amount of weight can improve insulin sensitivity. True, that is correct. Strength training helps your muscles use glucose more efficiently. Very good, yes. Strength training, we're gonna talk about that too when we talk about muscle is medicine, okay? Drinking water instead of soda is a healthy swap for blood sugar. True, fact, very good. Fruit is unhealthy because it contains sugar. Fruit is unhealthy because it contains sugar. It's unhealthy?
What Would you?
Fruit is unhealthy because it contains sugar.
Oh,
That's a myth. It is not completely unhealthy. It does contain sugar, but we're learning how to balance it, right? Insulin is a hormone made by your pancreas. Insulin is a hormone made by your pancreas. That's true. Okay, last one. Small lifestyle changes can add up over time.
what's that?
Small lifestyle changes
Oh.
can add up over time. True. Very good. You guys are good.
We cheated. The answers already.
So-
Teachers.
Eating sugar alone is not the whole story. Insulin resistance is much deeper than that. Prediabetes can improve it. Fruit's not always bad, but we just need to balance it, like we talked about, adding fiber to it or protein. Honey, even honey can raise your blood sugar because it is a sugar. Just remember that. So that's why I said those whites are still a treat. So don't go crazy with them. You can have one or two, but don't go crazy. Okay. What labs tell a story? So we already know that these numbers are clues, right? They're not grades. We're not grading anyone. So your A1C is an average of your blood sugar over 3 months. We like to keep a check on that every 3 months, and what should that be around? Anybody have an idea?
What's 6.5 or less?
6.5 or less, yes. 7 if you're, yep. That's your A1C.
May I ask you a question about this? How do you get an average for something that's been in your system for 3 months?
It's how well your body is controlling the blood sugar, how well it's bringing it down.
And so on a Tuesday morning, I come in at 8 o'clock, get my blood taken, and by the next day, I get my A1C number back. It's a snapshot in time, but how do you look at 3 months?
They look at something in your cells. I'm not 100% sure about that because I'm not
I've never
a
understood
lab
that.
person. But I just know that it's an average of how your blood sugar is running throughout the time. So, let's see, what else? Your fasting glucose.
Controlling it.
Yeah, how good you're controlling it. Your fasting glucose, like that, how well you're controlling your fasting glucose. That's your blood sugar at one point in time. That's when you're not having anything in your system, you're fasting. That's true, accurate blood sugar reading. That's why they always want you to be fasting for your blood sugars, because that's your most accurate reading there. Okay. All right, well, that is doing that. We're going to jump into our...
Well, I will admit that looking at that 3 months, I look on computer and I think, all right, if I really well behaved that last month of the 3, will the numbers be that much better?
No.
It's like cramming for a
3
test.
months.
It's like crown, it's averaging it all out.
It's averaging it, correct.
Okay.
I have to thank Jackie for all that.
No cheating.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Cramming for that overnight test,
My brother does that a lot, he's diabetic, and he just, doesn't work, you can't just wait till the last day and say, hey, now I'm gonna be good.
No, because then Jackie yells at you. No, she doesn't yell at you.
My doctor always says, well, we did have a holiday, so.
Yeah,
Back in July, I had a French name in it.
Alright.
But if you go along the other
Okay, here we go.
that would just sort out.
Okay, yeah, we were here. Okay, so let's see. Triglycerides, fasting blood sugar. We did that one. Triglycerides. That is your triglycerides and HDL. That can hint at insulin resistance because it also can hint at like fatty liver. So it can also be part of that. So if you have a high triglyceride or HDL or low HDL, then it can make a suggestion that you may be developing insulin resistance. Your AST and your ALT, those are both part of your liver enzymes, or some imaging exams. Those can tell if you have fatty liver too. And fatty liver can, increase insulin resistance.
Fatty liver is.
Fatty liver is extra fat around the liver that is
It's
from.
just as obvious as that.
Exactly, yes, as simple as I can say it. It is, and it's caused by high triglycerides or eating fatty foods or eating stuff that,
I've had it all my life.
A lot of people have.
But nobody has told me what to do until I got here.
Well, good.
But, hey, that's 60 years, okay?
Exactly.
But
That's why I said it's not gonna happen overnight. These are things, small changes, you know. Yes,
Okay.
Tom?
I just didn't know if that.
Triglycerides and high density lipoprotein are negative things?
No, high triglycerides, if your triglycerides are high or your HDL is low, those can suggest that you may be developing insulin resistance. So your triglycerides, we don't want them above 150. And your HDL, that one is like, that's your, like you said, the high density. That one we want higher the better. So that one is increased. The higher the better, we like that. When it's low is when you're at higher
Oh,
risk.
so low HDL is, I see.
Yes, it's,
I
yes,
see.
it's a little opposite.
So we could have called it LDL.
LDL is the other, that's your lower the better. That's how I
Right.
remember it. Starts with L, so it's lower the better. We want that one under 100, but definitely under 70, if
Exactly.
we can. Yep, and then let's see.
I'm glad you asked that. I get confused on those too.
Yes. And then blood pressure too, we talked about that, in your waist circumference. Those are all types, signs that you may have metabolic syndrome, you know, we talked about that last time. So those are all clues, but like I said, we can all improve these. So pre-diabetes, it's one of the best things that you can do to make changes, because your body's still giving you a chance. Your body's saying, hey, the warning light's on, something's going on with the sugar, now's the time to change it, you know, to make those changes before you develop diabetes. Because once you develop diabetes, it's harder to go back, you know? So we just want to emphasize, you know, making healthy weekly habits, you know, building your better plates, moving after meals, choosing better drinks. This doesn't mean that diabetes is guaranteed, doesn't mean you're gonna get it, but it just means that your risk is higher to develop diabetes if you have pre-diabetes. And like I said, it's the best time to act when you know you have it. The progression of it is slow, but it still can happen. Medication. Some medications, you know, sometimes you're put on medications for that, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't mean that's a failure. Some people, you know, may use metformin or other medications. They can lower your glucose and insulin demand, but still, it's also good to have those lifestyle changes and good habits to help support the body. And always follow your instructions of your provider. But medications work best when we also support the body with movement, nutrition, sleep, and stress management, okay?
Why do they keep peddling that metformin?
Doctor loves that. It's a good drug. It protects the kidneys too. It's overall.
Yeah, if you look it up.
I know. There's a lot of
I
controversy
mean,
about it.
it doesn't do, it's not that
See,
good.
I never
There's a
took
lot of-
metformin, all of a sudden I'm taking it, now I have to take a statin to support the
They
metformin.
had me at metformin for a while, but I don't,
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, that's between you and your provider, but I would like you not to be on medicine. I would like you to follow this so you don't have to be on
Yeah,
medicine. That's my goal.
But it made me feel sick.
Some people it does, yeah. I've heard that.
You talking about sleep and stress, I have sleep apnea. You
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about, my sleeping is so messed up right now.
Yeah.
Look at me today, I didn't go to bed
I'm
until
glad you see
7:30.
it. So these are the main 4 habits that will make the biggest difference. If you guys can, you know, try to fix any of these. I cannot say it enough. Movement. Sit less, you know. Add strength training in. Adding just resistance bands is fine too, you know. Whatever you have at home too, you can use. You don't have to be fancy, you don't have to go to the gym. Tell me.
I can't walk very far. I have issues. But anyway, I periodically go on my phone and that song, the pirate song,
We all fair?
I think so. They do all the push-ups and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the push-ups, I sit in my chair and I do the same thing that they're doing. And that's kind of helping because I'm moving my body more.
That's great, and you know you're knowing your limits too. That's very important. You don't
Oh, I
want to
have
jump
to
in
keep it.
and hurt yourself, you know,
Yeah.
because then you'll set yourself back farther. So that's really important.
And you
To know
can
your
do
limits.
push-ups, so.
Yeah, no, we can't expect you to do push-ups. Nobody in here. No, but like you said, even if you can't compromise doing any kind of movement, you know, say you watch a chair yoga video online, you know, maybe you can't do all those exercises, but whatever you can do, try it. Like she said, any movement is good.
Yeah, I know I keep putting my hand
No,
up.
you're fine.
You're talking about modest weight loss, and we see all these commercials for this GLP, you know, with shots or pills
Yeah.
or whatever. Does that interfere with what we're trying to do here with diabetes and stuff?
So
Do they work together? Is it a
They-
bad thing?
they do work together. It does help. The GLP-1 does help with the diabetes. That's what it originally was brought out for.
Right.
It just depends on with your provider if you're a good candidate for it, basically.
And when you say
tell you
provider,
that.
we're talking like Mahajan.
Yeah, Dr. Mahajan. I would talk to him about that and see if you're a candidate for that, because there is certain weight goals and BMI limits that they have for patients that need that medication, and also A1Cs and stuff like that. There's certain things you have to qualify for.
All right.
So, but that would be a good question to ask your provider next time.
'Cause I see some of these commercials, you
I know.
can qualify online.
Right, I know. But then again, it's also very good to talk to your provider, because these commercials are targeting you, you know what I
Of
mean?
course.
So you wanna make sure it's safe for you, too.
Right.
Okay? I don't know why I keep doing this. Okay, let's see. Food quality, adding, what we eat matters, you know? Adding more protein, fiber, fewer sugary drinks, those are all gonna help. Make a huge difference. So these little 4 habits are gonna make a big, big difference. So I want you guys to do your challenge, 1-week challenge. We're gonna pick one of those things. I have some flyers for you guys too. Okay. Here we go. So this is, I want you guys to choose one of these, to improve your insulin sensitivity. So put a check mark on which one you guys think you guys can handle. You do all that already?
Yes.
Well, that's good. Then you should have a check mark on everything.
in my head.
You're gonna get an Olympic
You're
time.
gonna get a check mark on everything
No,
then.
I can't go walking 10 minutes, but I do all the other stuff.
Do you consider diet soda sugary drink?
Yes. It's better, but I'd rather not.
Okay.
And I drink salsa.
Can that be flavored on sweet juice? Like the raspberry tea?
Check it, make sure it doesn't have sugar in it. Or if you have unsweet tea, add some raspberries yourself.
And some what?
Add some raspberries yourself. And
Oh, just regular?
Yeah.
I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, add fruit. We talked about that too, infusing your water with fruit or lemon. That's a big help too. This is another little pamphlet for you guys, just talking about insulin resistance today. Okay. So what kind of goals did you guys pick? What's something we're gonna try?
And more protein,
Add more protein?
breakfast,
Well, here is some foods that can help support the blood sugar. These are good ones. Those ones we want to avoid. These are some foods that will help support healthy blood sugar. Do we know what non-starchy vegetables are, right? Do we know what non-starchy vegetables are? Not corn, but like your green leafy vegetables,
okay.
like your broccoli
okay.
and that kind of stuff. Brussels sprouts.
Corn is also starchy.
Corn is starchy, yeah. I said non-starchy. You want non-starchy.
No, I thought you just said
Thank you.
not corn.
Okay.
There's also beans that are starchy too.
You're correct. Black beans are, you know, Dr. Mahajan did say something one time that black beans are like a GLP-1, right?
What is?
Black beans,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Like a what?
a GLP-1, eating black beans. He talked about that in one of his classes, how for breakfast,
Beans and cauliflower, rice.
I love my baked
with
beans.
roasted-
yeah, well, that's got sugar in it, Bob.
No,
But black beans,
I can't get
like
that out, I can't drink.
black beans with rice and
Crushed
quinoa in the
quinoa,
morning,
like
Dr.
this.
Mahajan said, is like taking a GLP-1. It's gonna suppress your appetite, help control your blood sugar, and keep you feeling full longer.
Can you do the microwave prep rice? You know, they come in those cups and
Maybe,
you do
check
1
it.
minute and, okay.
There's also cauliflower frozen rice.
I have seen that before.
Yeah. Coffee and sourdough toast, boy, that's how I started the day.
Yeah. So, couple things. to remember, you know, glucose is a fuel. Insulin helps the glucose enter the cells. Insulin resistance means the cells don't listen well. The pancreas must then work harder and then the blood sugar, before the blood sugar rises. But remember, insulin sensitivity can improve with consistent habits. We just talked about those today. So, and then before we leave, let's do one more fun.
Could you put that,
quiz.
Say that again.
I'm sorry, could you put that last one back up for me?
Sure. This one? There you go. And here's some questions that I just put for you. Maybe you want to discuss with your provider, and also some more information about understanding lab results. There you go.
Thank you.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So a couple of years ago, my cholesterol was really high. So they put me on Crestor.
Okay.
Like the week I had my blood work. So the next, it was like 6.2 something. So the next 3 months after taking the Crestor, it was 6.8.
Okay.
So I called my cardiologist and said, I think the Crestor is shot my
Raising it.
blood sugar. The nurse said, no, it doesn't do that. But because I was insistent, she did talk to the doctor and called me back and said, yes.
It
It
did?
will do that.
Wow.
It's rare, but it will. It did.
It's rare.
So, went off of it, said I'm not gonna take it anymore.
Mhm.
My blood sugar went back down. So, because I was then considered diabetic, because my sugar went up to 6.8,
Mhm.
it's now 6.4.
Okay.
So am I considered diabetic or pre-diabetic?
Pre-diabetic. 6.5. Yeah, so you're right there on that little border, so, but you can still have insulin resistance, you know what I mean? That's what we're talking about
I
today.
didn't realize, that was good to hear, because I did not know that.
Yeah. So you can have it, and that could be why you were starting to develop prediabetes. So it's the perfect time for you to start, you know, this program.
What happened to your cholesterol then?
It went down. Oh, I have to take a shot every 2 weeks.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't take any statin drugs.
Okay,
The
yeah.
statin drugs is what made mine go up. I mean, that's an individual thing, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it happens.
That's why I'm so confused. I'm taking statin to help the metformin to keep my A1C number down.
I've been taking a statin.
I'm
I said-
shame out there in the pharmaceutical industry.
I take, can't remember what it is now, a shot every 2 weeks for my cholesterol. And it's made it go down. Very expensive though.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. That's good. But you know, this stuff can help too.
Right.
Maybe not
Oh,
make a huge
absolutely.
difference, but you know, it can definitely help.
Yeah.
Because anytime you do like strenuous activities or like cardiovascular exercise, you're pushing the cholesterol out of the bloodstream. So getting off the sides of those arteries and stuff. So that's a really good thing too. Okay, so let's do one more little fun quiz. True or false? Okay. You guys go by your cards? Alright, we're gonna do true or false. Insulin is the hormone that helps move the glucose from your blood into your cells. True. Insulin is the hormone. It's the key. It acts like the key. It helps glucose enter the cells, and then they're then used for energy. Insulin resistance means your body doesn't make insulin anymore. False. Yep, that's right. Because we know that it just doesn't respond well. The cells don't respond well. Prediabetes can improve with healthy lifestyle changes. Very good, yes. Eating healthy, adding movement to your stuff, your routines, getting better sleep, and weight loss all can help improve insulin sensitivity. Walking for 10 to 15 minutes after a meal can help lower your blood sugar. True, very good. Because why? Because your muscles are going to use that glucose for energy whenever you're moving. Carbohydrates are bad for everyone. That's false, because we need carbohydrates. The carbohydrates is what gives us the energy. We just have to choose higher fiber with our carbs and balancing our meals. Fiber helps slow the rise of blood sugar. Fiber helps slow the rise which then again keeps it nice and steady so you don't get those spikes. Poor sleep can make insulin resistance worse. Absolutely. Not getting enough sleep, it can make it harder for your body to use the insulin efficiently. So that's why it can increase that. You have to be perfect to improve your health. False, right? I've always talked about it. Small, consistent changes are more effective than being perfect. Drinking water and soda is one way to support healthy blood sugar.
Water and soda?
Water instead of soda.
Oh, instead of. Oh, okay.
True, yes. Because if we just replace one sugary drink with water, that's the easiest swap that you can make. Why are you gonna drink your sugar, right? There's better things, that's right, you can enjoy it differently. Okay, let's see. If diabetes runs in your family, there's nothing you can do to lower your risk. False, I like that. You can do it. You can make healthy habits, you can walk, anything that's talked about today you can do, and that will lower your risk. Okay, thank you everyone for attending today.
Thank you.
Do I have any more questions?
I do.
What do you have, Sherry?